Good afternoon. It's time for Channel 2 English News, and the President Fattah al-Sisi stressed the importance of modernizing and reforming the state institutions to achieve sustainable development goals. This came during the President's visit to the police academy, where he met with its officers and cadets and had iftar with them. The President cited advances witnessed in the Ministry of Interior over the recent years, including the conversion of prisons into rehabilitation and reform centers. The head of state emphasized that the internal front is resilient and coherent and called for increasing public awareness and right perception of the current circumstances and threats, with intensified efforts to maintain Egyptian national security and confront negative propaganda and destructive thoughts. President al-Sisi asserted that Egypt is interested in maintaining security, stability, and peace in the region, despite challenges, renewing the state's commitment to settle crises with peaceful means. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati stressed the success of the reconstruction plan of Gaza Strip filed by Egypt in coordination with the Palestinian government needs a cemented ceasefire and an empowered Palestinian Authority that carries out the responsibilities in Gaza. This came in a meeting on the rehabilitation of the health sector in Gaza Strip hosted by the top diplomat with the attendance of Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Health Khalid Abdel-Ghaffar, and over 100 foreign ambassadors and representatives of international organizations. And for the third week, no aid is going into Gaza Strip since Israel halted deliveries to the Strip, reinforcing a semi-complete blockade despite ceasefire agreement that was scheduled to enter a second phase on the 2nd of March. UNRWA Chief Lazarini warned that this decision threatens life and survival of civilians in Gaza. Israel in January severed ties with the UN agency and banning it from operating on Israeli soil, making it difficult to coordinate with the safe delivery of aid in Palestinian territories in the West Bank and Gaza. Meanwhile, aid agencies say at least 14,500 children were killed, thousands were wounded in the Israeli war in Gaza, while most of the territories' children need mental health support for trauma. And in the West Bank, Israeli occupation forces continued aggression and incursion in Jenin city and its refugee camp for the 56th day, with forced displacement of Palestinians. Israeli military bulldozers kept destroying roads, while Palestinians' houses burned or transformed to military barracks. In the same context, occupation forces continued their aggression on Tol Karam city and its camp for the 50th consecutive day, and on Nur Shams camp for 37th day. And in Yemen, the Houthis, Al-Masira television said that the U.S. carried out new airstrikes on Yemen on Monday, expanding the biggest U.S. military operation in the Middle East since President Donald Trump took office in January. The Yemeni Health Ministry said the death toll from the U.S. strikes that began on Saturday has risen to 53 people, including women and children. The attacks hit several Houthi-run areas, including and China on Monday called for dialogue and de-escalation of tensions in the Red Sea after deadly U.S. strikes late on Saturday that killed 31 people. Foreign Ministry spokesman said that China opposes any action that escalates the situation in the Red Sea and reiterated calls for diplomacy to resolve tensions. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for utmost restraint and cessation of all military activities, while warning of the grave risks to the dire humanitarian situation in Yemen. The EU hosts a donor conference for Syria on Monday, with the Syrian authorities represented in the gathering for the first time. Interim Foreign Minister Asad al-Shibani said to attend the annual conference in Brussels. After the ouster of Bashar al-Assad in December 2024, the EU has held its annual donor drive for Syria for the past 8 years, mainly focusing on supporting refugees in neighboring countries after the Syrian civil war erupted in 2011 and sent millions of refugees over its borders. The conference is focused on bolstering funds for the most urgent humanitarian needs facing Syrians and refugees. Syria's needs are massive, as swathes of the country lie in ruins and the economy has been ravaged by years of international isolation.
استاذ عمرو خلينا ملتزم.
Well, dear viewers, that's all for Channel 2 English News. Thank you for watching.